Hello, everybody, and welcome. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are safe. I'm so happy to be here tonight filming this, finally. I know I've been kind of slow in getting my videos out, and I've mentioned I have a few that are in process, and I just haven't been able to get them completed, but I wanted to come on and just do a video just to catch up and talk to you about some of what I've been doing, what's been going on, and just chat with you. So grab yourself something good to drink, pull up a chair, because we've got some chatting to catch up on. First of all, I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are safe. I know you're probably in the same situation I'm in as we try to emerge back out. And things are slowly coming around, starting to open. I am in no particular rush or hurry to get out there. We're going to talk about some products that I want to share with you that I have purchased. I want to talk about what's going on with my journey of weight loss. I want to talk about hair. I just want to talk about baking, planting, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So first of all, let me just say that, times are tough. Things are difficult, and for some, more difficult than for others. And I think that we all are involved in the sadness of heart that we feel for the just the tremendous loss of lives with the pandemic, and loss of lives through injustice, and just so sad and heavy-hearted for the world that we're living in. So my strength and my courage comes through prayer, and that's what I focus on, because I know that doing that can help change people. And prayer comes through having a faith and persevering with that can bring peace, and that is what we need. So with that being said, I want to lead right into where I've been, what I've been doing, and what's been going on. So, and I'm just going to make this brief, but since the very onset of the stay-at-home order and the crisis starting to emerge for all of us, I was faced with some health issues concerning my mom, and they were not easy, they were difficult. And then, of course, it kind of fell right on the brink of everything that was going on. Closing down of everything, stay-at-home order, the ordinances through hospitals, and everything being canceled. And my mom has a situation where her health was declining. She was having a loss of red blood cells. She had to have some blood transfusions. The transfusions weren't working, and her options were grim. At one point, they wanted to give her iron infusions, which at the time she was a candidate for, and she had to have them done through the infusion center, and she needed a multiple dosage of the iron, and she had to go in 5 separate times. Now, that in and of itself, I don't even know if she would have made it through all of that, but at the time, she did not want to leave the house. She didn't want to go to the hospital. She didn't want to go to the infusion center. She didn't want to be anywhere near it, and she understood that she would have to go in on her own, and I would not be able to go in with her. And It was not a good situation. Doctor called us, talked to us about options, which we had to talk to her about, and she had a very small window to act on these iron infusions, and as it was, she just, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, and so it took me a week trying to talk her into at least making an attempt to go, and she wouldn't do it, and then by that time, her levels had dropped down to where she was no longer eligible to have the infusions. So at that time, the doctor did order an evaluation through hospice, and she understood what that meant and what was involved, and that is the route that she chose. She has been on hospice since. She is comfortable. They are wonderful. They have been a godsend to me. They have helped. I can't even begin to explain the gratitude I feel towards them. I've been basically doing this on my own. My husband was called back to work in Illinois the day after Easter, and so it's been difficult. It's been tough, but my mom is she's getting through this, and she's not in any discomfort. So that's really the goal. And it's hard because her mind tells her that she can do things and wants to do them, but her body just is giving out. Hospice has been great. She is on oxygen now. She has the supplies that she needs to keep her comfortable. She gets assistance with her showering and bathing weekly, and that's just been so helpful. So I have been dealing with that this whole entire time, and I had to will myself to focus on everything else that I possibly could to keep my mind healthy, because just the fact that the outside world was shutting down and we were inside and options weren't available, there was just a lot we had to go through, and a lot we had to accept and know that if this were to happen, we would not have this option or that option. And it was hard. It still is hard, but hospice is making it so manageable. And I am indebted and grateful for their help, because it's been very difficult and very hard. I haven't always been able to survive each day gracefully. I lose my patience. I get very tired. And so that's why I try to keep myself focused on what brings me enjoyment and can just give me a relief, because I can't leave the house. When I do, I'm running and rushing to hurry and get back, because she really can't be by herself. And just recently I left for a very short period of time. I had her totally set up with everything she needed. She didn't have to get up. Just stay in your chair. You're comfortable. You've eaten. You've got plenty to drink. You have your snacks. You have the TV. Everything. Her oxygen was on. And when I came home, the refrigerator door was open. For that time period that I was gone. So it's things like that it's just difficult. And then there's every day the afternoon and the sundowning issues, where she becomes restless and irritable and cranky and just gnawing and nitpicky, and it's difficult. So your prayers would be so appreciated, and it's just been difficult. So I've gotten off track, because the last couple of weeks, it's a very slow decline, but the progression is there and it is still moving forward. So it gets more difficult, and I just get sometimes so out of energy and run down and just, I can't even find myself doing the things that can bring me joy. I just have to go to sleep because I know that that's important. So, that being said, let's talk about some happy stuff. What have I been trying to do to keep myself sane and get through all of this? Well, I did a little bit of online shopping, which, you know, that kind of retail therapy always helps. I've been doing a whole lot of research and experimenting with sourdough. I've posted a couple of videos and photos. I have really been enjoying this. This has just been, it's good bread to eat. It's wonderful bread to eat. It's literally probably the most digestible type of bread that you can eat. It's really good. It's kind of fun to create your own natural yeast that you're making from the products in your air through flour and water and creating that natural kind of yeast. I think that's sort of neat, kind of experimental, and I started a starter a few months ago and it's still surviving, and I have made a gamut of different recipes. We've had sourdough pancakes, waffles, delicious French toast. I mean, so good. I've made sourdough kind of like a shepherd's pie, which has been super good. I've made sourdough focaccia bread, sourdough pizza, and I'm telling you, these recipes are delicious. And along that line, I have experimented and I have baked many breads. Fails? Yes. Is it important to fail? Yes, it is, because that's how you learn. And that's with anything in life. You have to fail in order to succeed. And it's never fun when you put in all that work and you've, it's like a love affair when you're creating sourdough. You kind of take on this ownership with the sourdough starter, and you care for it and you feed it and you nurture it. And then you just, sing its praises when it rises and it floats on the water, and it's got the power to raise some good bread, and you do all the steps involved, and it looks so perfect when it's going in the oven, and then it comes out flat. You're like, what happened? So you have to really examine it and just kind of think, well, what happened? What did I do wrong? Because with sourdough, there are so many ways that you can start it. There are so many ways to maintain it. But you have to really know, like, what's the atmosphere? What's the conditions that you're growing your starter in? And you have to really have an affair with it to develop it. So I've had fails. I've had some loaves that have been rock solid, but every one of them still had good yeast, good sour flavor, and I turned them into croutons or used it for French toast, because the French toast soaks in the egg mixture and softens up, and it still has that delicious sourdough flavor. So even though it's a fail as far as maybe a big, beautiful high loaf, it's still been used as croutons or French toast, and it's been delicious. So, not all fails have sad endings. The only fail that has a sad ending is when you feel defeated and you give up. but the idea is to just keep going, keep practicing and experimenting. So now I'm kind of moving in to the little more advanced breads and challenging myself, and it's just been loads of fun. One of the easiest mixes that I made was the focaccia bread. That's delicious. And so that kind of leads me into the next thing that I've done. I bought a cute little white kind of, galvanized tin, and it was just white with some little black piping around the edges, and it was just sort of cute, and it was a bucket. And I purchased a few herbs: basil, parsley, rosemary, some thyme, and had some clay pots, and I did some potting outside on my back patio and in this tub, and started the plants. One of them I practically got for free from the store because it was just sort of dying, and it didn't even look like it was going to survive, and now it's like that tall. And so I made some delicious sourdough focaccia bread, and I used the fresh herbs that I've been growing outside, rosemary and some thyme, and just garlic that I roasted in the oven, and it was just so delicious. So that's the other thing. I used to have a really nice raised bed herb garden in Illinois that I had for about 10 years, 8 years maybe, fully matured, and loved it. Had so much fun with it. I was working at the time. Now I'm not, and now I don't have my perennial or my herbs, but so I'm making do with utilizing what I do have and growing them out on my little patio in the back. And I'm in the process of having a raised bed, small little box made for me out in the back so that I can transplant all of these to there. So that's one of the things that has been keeping me busy, and I have been fooling around with. The other thing is reading. I've been catching up on reading. I've been reading Outlander. That's slow go. It's a very, very small, fine print. I'm enjoying it, but I can only read maybe 15, 20 minutes of it at a time. Excuse me. Because my eyes get really tired. And so, sorry. Ooh, something. I just feel like I swallowed some. Hope it wasn't a gnat. But anyways, so I've been reading some other books, like in between. And one of them is the biography from Laura Ingalls, Little House. And I have the series of The Little House in Big Woods, her book series, and so I have been picking that up. I've read a couple of cookbooks from cover to cover, and I've enjoyed that. I didn't really think that Outlander was going to hold my interest, but it does. It's totally different from anything I've ever read, but like I said, it's small print, and it's kind of got that dialect to it when you're reading it. I guess it's more Gaelic, and it's kind of hard unless you slow it down and really look and see what they're saying and talking about, but I'm really enjoying it. So I've been doing that, and I've been just kind of catching up on, when I can, some Netflix series that I was interested in watching. Nothing real outstanding, but just some things here and there. And basically, that's how I've been filling my time in my day. So, besides everything else that I'm very busy doing pretty much throughout the day, just trying to maintain, just keeping up with everything in the house. But those are the things that I have found that bring me pleasure and joy and keep me happy and peaceful, to where I feel I have an escape So sometimes when I'm in the kitchen like that, making a major mess that I know I have to clean up, it just brings me a lot of joy, and I need that because the days are difficult. I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I've purchased online, and these are some linen, and I think they're linen and rayon mix, mostly linen, and they're so comfortable. They're great for the summer. They have this nice waistband in the front, and these little pleats here that kind of dress it up a little bit, and then a full elastic back, pockets in the back, pockets on the side, very loose. I thought they were going to be like too short and I wouldn't like them, but they're perfect for me. I love them. I did get them in a medium, even though the legs in the short part of it is really blousy, loose. The smalls would have been just too uncomfortable around the waist. So the mediums were perfect, and I picked up a pair also in the black. And they're just so cooling, and especially where I live, sometimes the jean material on shorts that are kind of formed to your legs are just too hot and get uncomfortable. Another item that I find that I wear a lot is this jean skirt. This is one that, it's so cute, it's all frayed at the bottom, but I picked this up at a retail shop right before all of this pandemic stay-at-home went into effect, and I have gotten a lot of use out of it just because it's cool to wear and it's comfortable. So that, and then just, you know, my kind of capri yoga pants. I find myself just relaxing wearing those a lot with just a tee, and that's really been very helpful, especially now that we're on the temperature rise. We've had a beautiful, beautiful spring. I cannot complain, especially compared to last year when it was stinking hot since the end of February, but this year we've had a great spring. One of the things I just kind of wanted to mention, and I do pick this up all the time, you can order this online, but I get it at Target because they do carry it, and this is the Meyer Clean Day. Love, love, love this stuff. Now, I use a lot of their cleaning products, but this is the dish soap, and this is in the lavender scent, and it smells so fresh. I love it. And usually when I go to Target, I'll pick up like 3 or 4 of them because I just love it. Now, when I'm doing some like heavy duty scrubbing of pans that I've done a lot of cooking, I do have to put maybe a squirt of Dawn in it just because I need that extra power. But for everything else, this is just perfect, and it just smells so, so good. So I love that. The other item that I have picked up is the Jergens Natural Glow. I don't know if you can notice, but yeah, and I do wear sunscreen, and this is just from walking, and my skin does turn more of that olive tone in the winter, and the rest of the year I'm pretty pale, especially for my, you know, pigment naturally that comes out. But I like this natural glow. It really is a quenching moisturizer. It feels good on your skin. It has a pleasant smell, but I like it because it really does make your skin look nice. You can see it kind of has like that nice little fresh glow to it. But one thing I will say, rub it in. Make sure you rub it in, because if you don't rub it in really, really well, after a couple of hours, like when you've been out and about, maybe out in the sun and sweating, it kind of turns gritty and it sort of peels off. So I would just say rub it in really, really good. That's what I do, and really let that moisture get into your skin. But it does leave a really pretty glow on your skin. So this I picked up Target. Everybody has it. It's Jergens. So, and it has that kind of Jergen scent to it. So I really like that. And a new scent that I got for Mother's Day is the Jo Malone London, and it is the sage and sea salt. In the fall, when I went away to IMATS, my daughter-in-law and I spent an evening shopping and having a blast, and we sprayed every one of the scents, and oh my gosh, we had so much fun. But the ones that we really loved, we took home the little sample things of, and I just knew I want to get a bottle of it. And so for Mother's Day, I got the, oh, I thought maybe the size was on here. Well, I don't see it, but it's the smaller size. But oh, it smells so good, so fresh. I love it. I just love it. No place to go, but it is really a nice scent. And of course, in total Jo Malone style, the packaging is really sleek. And another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm going to list all this stuff down below. These Rubbermaid containers, I ordered a set. Now, I'm trying to remember. I think this is the largest, then there's one smaller, then this, and then there's, I don't know, there's about 6 pieces to this set. I'll list it below to where they, get down to pretty small. But these are Rubbermaid, and they are airtight, sealed tight. Nothing comes out of them. I love them, and they're clear. They're easy to see in the refrigerator. You can see what you have in there. I'm going to replace some of my older ones that are all nicked up, and just get another whole complete set. These things are wonderful. So again, Rubbermaid, and I ordered them on Amazon. So that was great. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is Jovial products. I'm like new to this. I started hearing about einkorn flour, and I ordered that einkorn flour. It's a very old type wheat, probably one that was grown eons ago in the very beginning, and the einkorn flour makes really great bread, or whatever you're baking with. It has a different flavor, it feels different, it looks different, and so I have been enjoying just experimenting with it. And so I decided I was going to try their pasta and some of their jarred beans, and I have a fresh market in my area, and they carry some of these Jovial products, and this is the gluten-free pasta, elbow style, and I made a dish with this the other day, and it's so good. Now, 12 ounces, I thought, I always cook a pound, but this pasta it's more al dente. It has a nice chew to it, and it swells. It cooks so different than other pasta, and it is delicious. It is really delicious, and I couldn't believe how satisfied I was after eating it, and no bloating. It's just very digestible. It was so good. I really liked it. It's worth the extra money that you pay to get a better product. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about leading into food, what I've been doing as far as maintenance. I'm a little bit concerned right now because it looks like some of the centers for Weight Watchers, they're closing down, and as word is getting out, it might be that they will be open once a week for 2 hours weekly, so you can come in and weigh in, and that's it. There'll be no classes, no weekly get-together, and that's very disappointing because one of the reasons I joined Weight Watchers is because I really felt like I needed to have that as part of my weight loss. But since I haven't been able to attend any meetings and we've been at stay at home, I have maintained my weight. My goal was to knock down originally, you know, an extra 5 to 7 pounds. I've really got to commit to getting to that. But right now I have just been maintaining, which is fine. And so I've kind of turn that around a little bit, and I've just applied some basic steps that I've been taking. I cut my eating off pretty much every night by 6 or 6:30. That's it. And then I don't eat again until about between 11 and noon the next day. And once a week, I just have a meatless day. I don't eat any type of meat. I just eat all fruits and vegetables and grains. And I have been trying to incorporate more fruits, grains, and vegetables into what I'm eating meal-wise daily. So doing that, I have been maintaining and just eating healthier products, things that are not processed, and especially, you know, kind of experimenting with the sourdough. Making my own bread and eating that is so much better than eating processed bread, where it's got a lot of fillers, and you can't beat the taste, especially when you're making homemade. So I've been just mostly concentrating on that, and exercise, of course, walking. I have been walking every day. It's really been helping my stress relief in my mind. It's something I really look forward to. I know I have to do it, and now I try to get out as early as I can because it's really getting hot out there. Ooh. And I can, you know, build up a sweat, and I pretty much go for about an hour and 15 minutes on the days that I can. But at least get that hour walk in, and I try to go before, you know, my mom gets up for the day. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is it's that time of year now. We're entering summer, and here in Alabama, it's hot. But we've had a great spring, way better than last year for sure. But now I have pulled back out my wow. I'm probably about right there from the sound of it. This has lasted me well over a year. This really keeps my hair very straight and sleek, and really cuts down on the humidity for my hair. But, you know, pretty much next week I do have an appointment to go get a hair cut. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to do. I thought about going short and taking the length off for summer because it's hot, but right now it's so easy because I can pretty much just put it up in a bun or wear it back in a pony, which I pretty much do every day, and I just wear it up off my neck. It's easy, it's simple. But with that being said, a lot of times I just jump in the shower and just let my hair go. You know, if it gets wet, I only wash it once a week now. If it gets wet, it gets wet, and it just kind of gets that wavy body to it. But I'm putting it up in a bun, so it's no big deal. But I'm going to end this with just kind of a funny story. Kind of embarrassing and kind of funny. But a few weeks ago, my neighbor had been working on installing his own irrigation system, and somehow, you know, he had the utility company come out and flag and mark everything, but somehow a gas line was hit. And this particular evening, I went to bed early. I couldn't believe it. I was so tired. And a lot of times it's not a physical tired. It is a mental tired. So I went to bed super early, and I was reading and I just fell asleep. But I had gotten myself showered and had my hair up, and then got out of the shower and all that, and then I just took my hair out of my bun, and I thought, oh, before I go to bed, I'll come back in, brush my hair, and you know, whatever, but I'm just not right now. So I went to read. I was reading, and before you knew it, I fell asleep, and I fell asleep hard. And you can imagine, my hair was up, I was in the shower, the humidity, I take it out, so then my hair grows out this way. And I fell asleep. Somebody's banging at my front door. Now, it's probably 9:30, quarter to 10, I can't remember. But I jump out of bed, I'm startled, and I'm hearing this banging, 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 and the doorbell going ding dong, ding dong, and I'm like, ugh. And so I run down the hall, the dog's barking, I gotta get the dog off of my bed, I get my slippers on, I grab my phone, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going, who is it, who is it? And I just hear this banging and banging, I'm like, oh, I don't have a little, camera, which I need to get, and I'm just like, frantic. And I went to the front windows, I look out, and I see this flashlight. Like, as soon as I open the blinds and I see this flashlight, and I'm like, ah! And I shut the blinds, and I'm like, what? And I hear, ma'am, open the door, fire department. What? So I open the door. I am totally in my jammies, and I am just so startled. He goes, ma'am, I need you to get out of the house. I need you to, is anybody else in the house? And I can't even focus, right? I'm just like, huh? And he goes, a gas line's been hit. You need to get out of the house. I need you to walk 2 houses down this. I can't. I have a hospice patient in here. Oh, no. I said, yes. And so he goes, okay, just a minute. And then the lieutenant came and whatever, and they just said, okay, just leave this door open. I need you to just stay in. He came in, he brought in this register thing to see if there was, gas or whatever going off in the house, and it wasn't. He goes, okay, just stay in here. Keep the screen door window shut, but just keep this open. And so then, I could see the lights out there on the fire truck and all this, and I'm just like shaking at this point. I was like, gosh. Well, then I look down and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in my pajamas. Yeah, that's not too pretty. And I'm like, good God. I went in the bathroom. I look in the mirror. Honest to God, my hair is like zoomed out to here. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I had no robe on. And let me just say this nicely. The girls, well, they were just like as free could be. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I grab a robe, I brush my hair, I put it up, and I was like, really? Okay, I'll put some gloss on my lips so I just don't look quite as dead. It was funny, but not really. Everything turned out fine. After an hour, they had the gas company come. The gas company fixed the line, and I was just thankful, honestly thankful, that I did have an excuse why I could not go out in my neighborhood. I don't care if it was 10 o'clock at night, in my jammies the way I was, him telling me to get out of the house. No. My neighbors would have been destroyed for life, is all I can say. So, yeah. All's well that ends well. I went to bed and just kind of laughed about it. It scared the heck out of me. I can't even tell you that. Banging and, ding dong, and I'm thinking, what? And I was afraid to open the door, but then I was just like opening the door, and I'm like kind of peeking, and, the guy's in his fire garb, and I'm like, what? And then I have to look to see if I actually see the fire truck, because I'm thinking, well, people are crazy nowadays. You just never know. And yeah, so that's my funny story. I've been on here long enough. It was so good to chat with you again, and I'll have all of this stuff listed below. So until my next video, be kind, be humble, age gracefully, and I hope I can see you soon again. Bye.